Hey guys, it's Jeff here at Metalworks Motorsports. So I told you I was working on a Build-It-Yourself Pro R chassis, and today's the day. I finally got it done, and it's live on site. So I wanted to do a quick video to kind of explain as many things as I can about it, and hopefully answer any questions you might have. So just getting right into it. This is a two-seat variation of a Build-It-Yourself chassis for Polaris Pro R to use all of your factory stuff, A-arms, shocks, drivetrain, everything like that. Yes, I'm working on a hydro steer version, and yes, I'm working on a single seat version, but this is to start, this is the build a race car, build a trail machine to use all your factory stuff platform. So first and foremost, all the tube is 1 3/4 120 wall. Any rule book that you're going to follow, 1 3/4 120 wall meets or exceeds any of the specifications for tubing thickness and size. I know some of the bouncer guys like 188 wall and the lower, but just for simplicity, we kept it with all 120. If there's any tube that you're worried about, any deformation, you're more than welcome to slug it with aluminum or 1.5 inch. I've done that plenty of times before. But like I said, for simplicity and the fact that this should be a pretty light vehicle, I don't see the need for any 188. All the plate is a mix between 10 gauge and 3/16. We could have gone fully 3/16, but by mixing it up, we saved a significant amount of weight. The 10 gauge is 135 thousandths thick. It's almost twice as thick as what the factory stuff is, so plenty of beef there. It's going to do everything that this thing is meant to do. So with this kit, you're going to get front shock mounts, upper and lower A-arm mounts, steering rack mounts, trailing arm mounts, engine and trans mounts, rear diff mounts, and radius rod mounts. I know guys are going to ask about the rear shock mounts. Look, I want to put them in, but with the type of structure that you got to build to mount those things, at that point, it's a full chassis. It's not chassis lower, right? So I wanted to put them in. I just can't. But just know that any purchase comes with a CAD model with all the pick points that you need to build off of, and part of that includes the rear shock mounts. And if you're not a CAD type person, I'm going to provide you with all the measurements you need to locate those properly. So let's see. In the front, I left the 4 bumper mount bolts. What I did with the bumper on the full body, I incorporated a bash bar into the bottom part of that bumper. And in the 3 years that I've been thrashing on it, yeah, it's a little dented up, but I haven't had to replace it yet. But I have the ability to replace it. So the thought process behind it was, I'd like to see that nose cone that you build for these be a consumable. If you wad the car up for whatever reason, I'd rather see you have to replace that than have to do major surgery on the chassis. So, plus if you already have bumpers made, it'll bolt right up. So I thought that was kind of cool. We did the 7-inch boat side on this. At the top of the boat side, from outside of tube to outside of tube, is 53 3/4 inch wide. So with that boat side, you're gonna be able to hit any type of rock section that you can throw this thing at. But you're still wide enough to be a 2-seat, comfortable. Be comfortable as a 2-seat. I know some of the full-size chassis are really narrow at a 50-inch chassis, and to me, that's just not enough space. Look, at this width, you're still narrower than what the factory car is with the plastics on. So this should be about the best of both worlds. Should have a lot more clearance on the rocks, but still have enough room for 2 people in there. I left the removable motor mount in the rear just so you can replace that rear drive shaft if you need to. It would have been a lot easier to just make it a solid mount, but ease of maintenance is a priority of mine, so I wanted to leave that in there. I don't know if this is a selling point or not, but the rear bulkhead accepts 1 1/4 inch Heims for your radius rods. I did my radius rods with 1 1/4 inch Heims. I'm sure nobody else has. It's entirely overkill, but actually the cool thing is, like, I don't ever have to change them because they don't go bad because they're that much overkill. So again, I don't know if it's a selling point for anybody else, but since that's what I use, this accepts 1 1/4 inch Heims. So moving on, I'm going to do this in 3 options, right? First one's flat packed, where everything just ships loose on a pallet and you put it together. Look, if you got a flat table and a welder and can read and write English, you'll be able to put this together. Everything's got part numbers and it's super simple. The next option that I'm going to do is with the bulkheads tacked together. It is super simple to put together, but if you want to save a step, I'm happy to tack all the sheet metal stuff together for you and avoid any confusion if there is any. And then the third option is going to be fully welded. So yes, I am working on my own stuff this winter, and I didn't really want to take a whole lot of time to take on customer projects. But I'm still going to offer it as an option. Just know that the price is going to reflect that if you want me to weld it out for you. So, look, I've had a bunch of interest in these things, and I know I've kept everybody waiting for a while. So what I'm going to do is the first 10 chassis lowers that get ordered, I'm going to do 10% off. Just know this is a pre-order. I'm shooting to be shipping units by the beginning of November. Hopefully sooner. I'm just giving myself a little bit of leeway in case there's any hiccups in the manufacturing process, which I don't foresee there being, but I'd rather have that time. But like I said, the first 10 are going to be 10% off. So the original price is $3468.84. With 10% off, that brings it to $3,121.96. So I don't think that's too bad for everything that you're getting, especially with where things are today. So if you want that cheaper price, hop on now and before prices go up. So and I just want to remind everybody that we do offer financing. If that's something you're interested in, go to the website at www.metalworksmotorsports.com. I'll put a link in the description. Go there. I redid the website. It's very, very simple. There's nothing to navigate through. We're not going to do any type of different pages, stuff like that. Everything that you need is right on the home page. Just click on the product, and underneath of the title and the price, it's going to say starting at blah, blah, blah per month or 0% APR with a firm, see if you qualify. Click on that. That'll take you to the application. And I've had plenty of people finance chassis because they got 0% APR over 6 months. I mean, can't blame them one bit. It seems to be a pretty popular option, but I keep forgetting to mention that to everybody. So with that said, go to the website, check it out, let me know what you think, and like I said, if you want that lower price, get yours ordered today, and yeah, we'll see you later.